Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to today's class. Today we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, verse 36. The chapter is entitled The Appearance of Sukadev Goswami. We are in the section of the chapter where Maharaj Parikshit is singing beautiful glories of Sukadev Goswami. Very, very nice, beautiful prayers. And we will continue hearing of how Maharaj Parikshit glorifies Sukadev Goswami. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you and Srila Prabhupada. And it's all yours, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Anyatam te vikatgatir darshanam nakatanyunam nitaram ryamananam siddhyadasya viniyasaha. Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here? Though you are moving incognito to the common man, and not visible to us who are on the verge of death. Report. Great sage Sukadev Goswami was certainly inspired by Lord Krishna to appear voluntarily before Maharaj Pariksit, the great devotee of the Lord, just to give him the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. One can achieve the nucleus of the devotional service of the Lord by the mercy of the spiritual master and the personality of Godhead. The spiritual master is a manifested representative of the Lord to help one achieve ultimate success. One who is not authorized by the Lord cannot become a spiritual master. Srila Sukadev Goswami is an author and a spiritual master, and thus he was inspired by the Lord to appear before Maharaj Pariksit and instruct him in the teachings of Srila Prabhupada. One can achieve the ultimate success of going back to Godhead if he is favored by the Lord sending his true representative. As soon as a true representative of the Lord is met by the devotee of the Lord, the devotee is assured of guarantee to going back to Godhead just after leaving the present body. This, however, depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. The Lord is seated in the heart of living beings, unless he knows where to go. The movements of all individual persons. As soon as the Lord finds that a particular soul is very eager to go back to Godhead, the Lord at once sends his bona fide representative. A sincere devotee is thus assured by the Lord of going back to Godhead. The conclusion is that to get the assistance and help of a bona fide spiritual master means to receive the direct help of the Lord himself. And the Janajana Savakaya Chaksunarutam Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shri Bhakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Panchakalpati Rubhascha Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Bhavane Yo Vaishnavi Yo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm sorry to interrupt, Maharaj, but the volume on your end is very low. Can you increase the volume, please, Maharaj?
So I'll do to my low voice.
Yeah, yes.
How's that?
It's still low on my end. Can the other devotees hear him?
How's
Or is
that?
it still?
Is that okay?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Yes, it is low, Guru Maharaj.
I don't have a volume control here.
Yeah.
Hi, Bo. I can hear you just fine because I have it on an external speaker. So if people have external speakers or phones, they might get a better sound.
Thank you.
Krishna Kaviraj says I can hear loud and clear. So it's obviously
Okay.
from the other side there.
Thank you. I'm sorry, March. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So this particular purport, and of course the verse included, is the essence of bhakti. It's all about receiving mercy, and there's a combined mercy that comes together to give the mercy that the person needs to become successful in devotional service. So there's three ingredients here: the mercy of the Lord, which then is traversed into the mercy of the spiritual master, And the third is the sincerity of the aspiring devotee. So unless there is sincerity on the part of the aspiring devotee, then the mercy comes in proportion to that sincerity. So when we really want Krishna, and that's what it means to become successful in devotional service. When we really want Krishna, then Krishna will send his representative to give us the opportunity to approach him in loving devotional service. Yasya Devi Pada Bhaktir Yatha Devi Tata Guru Tasyaita Pratite Yartha Prakasananta Mahatmanaha. One who has both implicit faith in both Guru and Krishna, not just one, there's two, Guru and Krishna. Although they're one in purpose, they're two in manifestation. That sincerity of purpose allows one to understand everything about the process of devotional service. That means the mercy comes and one can understand how to traverse the path of bhakti and achieve the goal, which is prema pumartam mahan. So the spiritual master is simply the instrument of the Lord's mercy to deliver the Lord's mercy, but he also carries his own special mercy, which is, you might say, it's a little bit unique from the Lord. At the same time, it is the Lord. What is that uniqueness? Is that he can give special consideration to a person, even though the Lord may not be inclined to do that to that person. So that is a special manifestation of the spiritual master, that even if a person seemingly appears to be unqualified, he can somehow or other recommend the Lord give him that mercy. And then the Lord is usually bound by the love of his pure devotee. And so he sends that mercy through his representative. Well, what is that mercy? The knowledge that we need to practice devotional service, and the knowledge we need to understand the path of bhakti. There are four categories of anartha, and one category is philosophical misconceptions about the absolute truth. So one should know, what is the nature of God? What is my relationship with God? What is the process of achieving my relationship with God? All of that has to be there. That is called sambandha, relationship, abhideya, the process, and prayojana, the goal. These three things make up all of the philosophical teachings in the entire Vedic literatures. And by the spiritual master, the mercy manifestation to deliver whatever the disciple needs to go back home, back to Godhead. But one has to approach the spiritual master, not simply to give him food every time he comes to your house. That's not the main reason he's there. Of course, that's very nice. That's one full way of serving the spiritual master. But one should ask relevant questions on what is my position? How can I make advancement? What is the process of devotional service? How does it apply for me in my particular situation? And then one should read the scriptures and then also learn the process through philosophical knowledge coming from Krishna through the revealed scriptures. And as one reads, one will get questions regarding their own spiritual progress and the nature of Krishna. The more we know about Krishna, the more we are attracted to the process of devotional service. Krishna is a personality, and his personality manifests in a certain way. Of course, he is the sum total of everything, but in how he relates to the material energy, how he relates to his devotees, what is his nature, what is his qualities, what is his pastimes, what is his forms, what are the different names he is known by. All these are essential for attracting our attention more and more to the lotus feet of the Lord in the mood of devotional service. You'll only serve one when you know about that person. You just don't serve anyone just because a person is available. When you know something about that person, then you're inclined to serve based on that knowledge. And Krishna is perfect in all aspects. So he's called Krishna, means he's all attractive. So we have to learn about Krishna. The spiritual master is not there simply to accept garlands or pat babies on the head or cut cakes or, sign books. He's there to give you the understanding of how to practice devotional service. And therefore, relevant questions are necessary in order for one to overcome any doubts or misunderstandings. And that way they can apply that knowledge in a practical way to devotional service. Theoretical knowledge is the beginning of knowledge, but application of theoretical knowledge means realization. Realization is Krishna consciousness. We have to know this knowledge and apply it in each and every situation. And how not to get trapped by the material energy is also one big feature of knowledge. That's why it explains that one should know what is the process and what is not the process. What do I have to do and what do I have to avoid? This is very essential. It's called anukulena and pratikul. Pratikul means those things that damage or slow down our progress in devotional service. And anukulena means the guidance in a positive way given by Guru and Krishna through scripture. These things we have to know. And that's why Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books. He said, I didn't write the book simply for selling. I wrote them for my devotees. Devotees must read these books and understand their relationship with Krishna and who they are, and get out of this illusion of bodily conception of life, which keeps the living entity in a cycle of mistakes constantly. As long as we're in a bodily conception of life, we will continue to make mistakes. And mistakes will slow down our process in devotional service. One can achieve transcendence or above the bodily conception of life through the realization of transcendental knowledge when it's applied in Krishna consciousness. All that knowledge is available through the spiritual master, as well as the knowledge of application is all there. So unless one takes advantage of the presence of the spiritual master, in terms of, as it says, one should inquire into the knowledge of transcendence and what is my relationship with the process of devotional service. Then one is approaching the spiritual master accordingly, not simply to get some ideas on how to maintain my family in a better way, or how I can somehow or other overcome this sickness that I have. These things are there in the secular society. We can get knowledge from those there. Those things are practically and they're available. Spiritual master he is there to deliver transcendental knowledge and the process of achieving Krishna through application of that knowledge. And therefore, one should be clear in the relationship with the spiritual master and not simply think he's there simply to accept our obeisances and to smile on us to make us feel happy. It's not all about that. All these things are part of the relationship, but they are not the relationship. The real relationship is Guru is non-different than Krishna, and if I follow the instructions of the spiritual master, I'm following the instructions of Krishna. And the instructions of Krishna are perfect. They come by representative of the spiritual master. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, do you know everything? And Prabhupada said, I know what I need to know. First he said, I'm not God, and therefore I don't know everything, but I know what I need to know. So what is that knowledge? And knowledge is how to guide his disciples back home, back to God. And Krishna gives him that knowledge within the heart and directly through his execution of devotional service. So one has to not only have a spiritual master, but know how to relate to the spiritual master. We don't know how to relate to the spiritual master and think that he just helps us join the club so we get a new name and we are, we are now the member of the spiritual club. That is not the position of the spiritual master, nor the purpose of devotional service. It's all about realizing our relationship with Krishna through knowledge and service, both. And the essence of that knowledge is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which awakens transcendental knowledge in the heart. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. I'm sorry, not that one. Vadu Jivanam. Vidya Vadu Jivanam. Lord Chaitanya gives the benedictions of chanting the holy name, and he says, Vidya Vadu Jivanam. That transcendental knowledge is given life by the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's not simply an instruction we have to follow. It's the arrow that goes through the ignorance of this world and reveals transcendental knowledge. And this is Krishna consciousness. So this purport is really, really like right to the point. You can read this purport over and over again, you'll understand. Sometimes people say, well, how do I know who my spiritual master is? It's right here. The conclusion that to get the assistance of a bona fide spiritual master means to receive the direct help of the Lord himself. And one can qualify to get that direct help when it says here, it depends on the sincerity of the devotee himself. Everything is in this purport. You don't need to ask any other understanding. Everything is there. We study this purport. You'll find that all of your questions are answered as you understand deeper your relationship with Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mart. Such a wonderful purport. Absolutely, not only wonderful, but a very strong, direct answer to our questions. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to ask devotees to please they kind of changed everything on the Zoom, and I'm learning how to do this thing. It would be request devotees if you can please show your videos when possible, and if anyone has a question, please do raise your hand or put it in the chat. Since they have updated the chat, this Zoom thing, I gotta find everything now. Maharaj, you talked about sincerity and mercy. And from what's coming to my mind is sincerity and mercy, they're directly or proportionally related. It's like a cause and effect.
Sincerity means that to the degree you want Krishna, to that degree the mercy comes to allow you to have the understanding and the knowledge to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord. If you just kind of like very in a formal way practice bhakti, just following rules and regulations and chanting every once in a while, that's not sincerity. Sincerity means one has to make it their main understanding. In other words, if you want Krishna, he has to be first. He can't be second. He doesn't like any other position than who he actually is. He deserves only first in our life. And when we keep Krishna first, then we hear about Krishna, we chant about Krishna, we read about Krishna, we associate with devotees who are serving Krishna. We also serve, worship him. Our life is centered around Krishna. The spiritual master is there to facilitate all of the activities you need to achieve shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. You have to want it. If you don't want it, it doesn't happen. But if we want material life as much as we want spiritual life, Krishna is patient. He'll wait till you get disgusted and tired of trying to enjoy this material world. And then he'll, be ready to offer the mercy you really need. Our problem is we're still dancing with Maya.
Marat, so how can we assess or gauge if we are sincere? Or how much should we be sincere? Are we sincere enough? Like, how can we know?
When you choose Krishna over Maya.
Okay.
You're constantly being given the opportunity to choose Krishna or Maya every minute. Maya means trying to enjoy your senses separate from Krishna. That's what it means. Doesn't mean you don't take care of your personal needs in order to live in this world. That's not necessarily in the category of God Maya. Maya means when you make those needs your goal in life. When you think material success is actually spiritual success, it's not. Prabhupada said you should do your best in all categories of activities. He said, if you're going to school, get the best marks. If you're working at a job, do it in the best possible way. If you're maintaining the family, do that. Always nice. But what is your desire? What do you want? Do you want Krishna or you want a nice material arrangement?
Thank you, Marge.
If you put Krishna first, everything else will follow nicely.
As they say, Marge, or as we've been told, spiritual solutions for material problems. Right, Marge?
Yeah, material problems are just shadows over the spiritual energy. They're dissipated by the presence of the spiritual energy. If you use a material solution, you create another problem.
Marge, I was reading if anyone has a question, please raise your hand or or put on chat and I'll stop talking. But Marge, I was reading a quote, and I think it was ISKCON Desire where, and I think it's a transcription by Srila Prabhupada towards the end, where it was said that a question that we can ask ourselves as a self-check or introspection is, how much are we prepared to sacrifice for Krishna?
Yeah.
That was pretty powerful question to do a self-assessment on ourselves.
Well, the process of devotional service is simple, but we also are always faced with the opportunities to direct our attention towards success in the material world in terms of trying to find happiness through material activities. Do your material activities as a duty, not as a source of attaining happiness. That's all. It's a duty. Spiritual life is also a duty, but that duty brings happiness. Material life doesn't bring happiness. It might bring some relief from material suffering, but that's also temporary. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad karosi, yadanasi, yatahosi, jadasi yat, yatapasi tukonta yat tad kurusha mararpanana. All that you do, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all sacrifices you may perform, should be done as an offering to me. And that's generally for grihastas. That's not even pure devotional service. That is using every aspect of your life as an offering to Krishna.
Marge, I think the key point that you said, as you know, because as you said, because we are dancing with Maya. I like how that was put together. That we are always spending so much time and focus on gauging our material duties as a success. Like if I've succeeded, like we spend so much time gauging our success by how much we are tied down into the material duties, job, promotions and stuff like that, as opposed to having that same consciousness for spiritual life.
Like Prabhupada mentioned, yeah, do your material duties nicely, but just do them and as a duty that they're required. But they're not the goal of life, nor can they give the happiness you're looking for either. Happiness comes from the heart, and the heart is the place where the soul sits. The soul sits on the heart. No, that in other words, happiness comes from the soul, not from manipulating the material energies. If you're happy inside, you'll be happy outside. If you're happy outside, but you're not happy inside, your happiness is not real. It's just some flickering emotional feeling that'll dissipate very soon.
Thank you, Marge. Really.
Here's a nice story. One one man and his wife, they go to the horse race, and there's betting in the horse race. So there's different horses. Some are more favored to win, and some are more considered a long shot. So he decided to put a large amount of money on the long shot, the horse which is most unlikely to win. And so he has his ticket, he puts the money in to get a ticket. And all of a sudden, he, the long shot wins the race. Now he's got so much money. He gets so excited that he has a heart attack, drops the ticket, and his wife is chasing. She doesn't know whether to pick up the ticket or pick up her husband either. So the guy won, but his winning caused him to have a heart attack because he got so excited.
Hare Krishna.
That's material life. You're apparently gaining something, but you're losing something at the same time.
Hare Krishna. Amazing. Thank you, Marge. Amritanam, go ahead.
That's a true story. That's not just an anecdote.
It is really sad, Marge, how people actually, they will give up, they will give up their lives and sacrifice their bodies for material success. And I was just thinking, if they could just do 0.1% of that, if I can do it, that, wow.
Yeah, people are, they're in Raganuga material life.
I like that, Marge. I love that. Raganuga material versus Raganuga Bhakti. I'm going to stop laughing. I'm sorry, Marge. Amrita, go ahead.
Look how many hours they work.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances of glory to Srila Prabhupada. That was hilarious. Rakanuga material life. So,
There.
just following up on this topic itself, that if I take my own example, I am wired to do my prescribed duties from 30, 40 years. And since we have forgotten this, uh, our spiritual position from time immemorial, so I got a guru, and my guru is trying to teach me that. But and I'm following my guru by doing the devotional services. Sometimes I do not understand the difference, that which uh, which of my occupational duty or material duty should I skip for the devotional life. If I do my when I choose my devotional service, sometimes I feel guilty that am I supposed to leave this, or should I have performed this and gone to devotional service? So how do I overcome this thing?
There's different ways to answer that question. There are some material duties that are, not optional, must be done, such as taking care of children. That must be done. And there's others that are less important, but still become part of your routine for activity. So sometimes we use a little method. We sit down and we put our activities in 4 categories. And 4 headings. One is essential, one is important, one is non-essential, one is non-important. So you write everything down in those 4 categories. You can do it with the spiritual life, you can do it with the material life. What is essential, what is important, what is not essential but may be done anyway, and what is not important at all, that can be easily given up. And so you start looking in a very analytic way about how your life is being played out, and start to evaluate and also see how you're using your time. Are you wasting time? Are you using time in the most but the best possible way, both materially and spiritually? So a little evaluation of your own activities and categorizing importance. These things give you at least a template to work with, and then you can adjust as things appear.
Sorry, Marge.
People who are successful at business, they use these templates also. Your chanting of Hare Krishna is not optional. That's essential. You can't, that doesn't get, marginalized. That's foremost. Your reading of the books is important, and it's also not optional, but sometimes you may not read because of circumstance. But it's not something you should continue to marginalize. You should always go back to reading even though there may be some opportunities that cause you not to have time. And then, going to parties, that is not important. Watching television is not important. Hanging around and talking all day nonsense about something is not important.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for this valuable tips. These days, actually, in our even in our Menti meeting and even in other lectures which we have attended, most of the senior devotees here, they really stress on our big time setback, which is a Kali Yuga setback, the mantra of Kali Yuga or mobile. So when we should stay away from it to waste our most of the time. So yeah, one of the things is that maybe in the name of devotional service, we tend to engage a lot in our mobiles. So yes, one of the things is that we should overcome. Thank you.
Do one thing, turn your mobile off for 24 hours and see what happens. You'll probably wind up going to a psychologist. My life is now full of stress. We're so addicted to these things. I was the other day, I was watching, we were traveling on this little motorboat and across the river here in Toronto. And there was 6 other people besides our group. And each one of these 6 people were sitting there looking at their phone. All 6 of them. And they were pretty much oblivious to the person next to them. And you know, when you learn about phones, one thing I don't know is I don't know how they work so good. So that's good for me. But when you learn about them, you know, you can do all kinds of really like far out things, and people really study it and they learn all of this stuff, and it's like, wow, it's like they enter into this, you know, virile world, you know. It's not even good for your health. It's bad for the eyes, it's bad for the brain. It's bad for social interaction.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. This is quite a raised point these days among our senior devotees. Thank you.
One thing that disturbs me is people come to the temple or they come to some program, and rather than take part in the program, they're filming the program with their phones.
Yes.
You're actually not even there. You're trying to capture something later, but why not get it now? By being a part of it. You might say, well, I'm there. You're not really there. You're more on the
Yes.
phone than you are there. The medium's the message.
Right.
Marshall McLuhan, he was famous. He wrote this book, The Media is the Message. Famous book. If you get it, it came out in the 60s. Marshall McLuhan, The Media is the Message. He shows how, you know, it's the media that is the essence of the message, and not so much the message. Very scientifically explained. Nice. Veronica.
Nice question, Amritanam. Thank you. Yes, Veronica, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Hare Krishna, all devotees. Thank you for everyday class. My question was about the old people in family. Are they as important as children to take care about the old people, father, mother, grandfather, mother?
Yeah. They're just as important. They require protection. They require care.
So the material duties about them, they are very important as like children.
Yeah, it says 5 categories of people require protection. Women, children, old people, cows, and brahmanas. And if those people are not taken care of or neglected, then those who are responsible for them will suffer.
Thank you for the nice question, Veronica. Any questions from devotees, please do raise your hand or ask a question. I mean, post it in the chat and I'll be happy to read it. Marge, I have a question as you were answering Amritanam's question. Marge, And thank you for, really shedding light on the sincerity and mercy aspect. When we get to the stage, Marge, of Anartha Nivriti, and we've been told that that stage is pretty tough and sometimes the longest because, we're carrying lifetimes of Anarthas, Marge, how can one know the Anarthas? Will they just get enlightened, or does it take devotees? And if it takes devotees, sometimes people don't like to know that they have that Anartha.
Well, the anarthas are listed. What is the anarthas? They're listed in the scriptures. Anarthas by philosophical misconceptions, anarthas by pious activities, anarthas by impious activities, anarthas that come by way of offenses. These are the four categories of anarthas. Each category has four anarthas. Know them and see if you are affected by them or attracted by them, either one. You have to evaluate. Am I being envious? That's one of the anarthas. Am I performing devotional service so I can get a nice position in the heavenly planets? That's an anartha.
That is what that involves, Maharaj, is self-introspection and definitely help of the devotees to help us recognize them, Maharaj.
The anarthas are described, and there's symptoms of each anartha are also described. All you'd have to do is hear from the spiritual man. If you're not sure, then inquire. What is this anartha, and what is how do we recognize the anartha?
Thank you, Maharaj.
It's like you have to check your motivation, why you do whatever you do. That's called destroying the false ego. When you're motivated to gain something in devotional service, that's a feature of the false ego. And therefore that activity is mixed with some either karma or gyan or yoga, either one. It's not devotional service in its pure sense, it's mixed. The false ego always jumps in there and thinking, I'll do this because I'll get something from it. But work under the guidance of the spiritual master. He gives you the practical guidance and you follow those instructions.
Thank you, Maharaj.
People want a spiritual master in name only. They don't really want to follow a spiritual master because they're afraid their material, attachments will be challenged.
Eradicated, Maharaj.
Challenged.
Yes, I've come across that situation, Maharaj. They just want a name.
They want to be, they want to think they're, what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, initiation is a continuous development of the consciousness of surrender to the Supreme Lord. Even if you're initiated and you're not following, in one sense, you're not initiated.
Thank you, Maharaj.
If you're trying to follow, then that's good. But if you're not following, then that means you haven't come up to the platform of developing a relationship with the spiritual master. It's some kind of, formality only.
Marge, I'm so sorry. You said that if we do not come to the level of which level, Marge, that shows that we haven't developed that relationship with the guru. What level is that, Marge?
Following the instructions. Instructions are in the scriptures. They're in the words of the spiritual master, in his lectures, in his books. And then sometimes we actually get an instruction on a personal level. That's special mercy.
Marge, I have a question, and Pavni, I promise I'll come to you. I will not forget you, Mataji. Marge, what in a situation where the devotee does not have or is not able to have contact with the spiritual master because of geographical, whatever the reason may be,
That's
then
Maya.
what happens?
That's Maya. That's Maya. That's an excuse not to take. That means they're not making the effort. That's all. The spiritual master's on the planet. You can contact him.
It's the endeavor part, right, Maharaj?
Yeah, you just have to do it. Sometimes he's not personally present in your area, but there's the media. We have so many forms of media by which we can connect. We're connecting right now by media.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Marge. Pavni Mataji, I'm coming to you. I promise.
That's an excuse just to. I see. Maybe it's laziness also.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. They don't want to come out of the comfort zone because I hear that sometimes and and it bewilders me when I hear it because yeah, I was just.
And you also have your God family. So even if your spiritual master is not personally present, you can get guidance from your God family who are also following your spiritual master.
Thank you, Marge. Thank you so much.
Well,
Pavni Mataji,
well,
it's all yours.
if you have the desire, you'll get the answer.
Powerful
Hare
point.
Krishna.
Lovely.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances, all gurus to Srila Prabhupada and you. Maharaj, like you said about we come in some festivals or any programs in temple, we like make videos, take photos, but those also can be used for preaching. Like when you're preaching outside and they ask what's happening like in the temple. So you can show them the pictures and video. If so, for that reason, is it okay to take some videos and photos?
You give me a hard question. Yeah, but not too much. Don't overdo it. A little bit in that direction is fine, but if you make it a program, then it becomes unnecessary.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Nice question. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
She's only 10 years old. Very intelligent.
Very intelligent. And also listening attentively, Marge, for 10-year-old is it's rare.
Yeah, even the 20-year-olds don't listen that.
Exactly. So she's setting a very nice example of attentive listening. Thank you. Sridevi, you got the floor.
Thank you, Anasuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Prabhupada. This is a very compelling class, Guru Maharaj, on the spiritual master and the disciple and the relationship. But my question is, the spiritual master is sent by Krishna because that spirit soul is calling out, help me, end my suffering, please, my dear Lord. I cannot understand why this is going on. And when he sees that sincere calling out, then Krishna sends himself in the form of the spiritual master. So after receiving this mercy, why the disciple will suddenly want to change and not listen to the guru and not follow instructions and be lackadaisical? It's like my prayer is answered. So now I just have to get on with it and go back to Krishna. Why all this, other things suddenly happen then?
It could be a number of reasons. One, it challenges one's material attachments. Could be one of the reasons. or I can't do it. It's too hard to do it. I'm not able to fulfill that instruction. Or the circumstances change, and then the same desire is not there anymore. Number of reasons. But mostly it's due to insincerity. Because even if the instructions are too hard to follow, you can always respond by asking clarification on the instructions, or saying that this instruction is too difficult. Maybe you can give me something that is more doable for me.
So the insincerity comes about because there may be a change of feelings or change of circumstances, or Maya again starts doing its number on us, and then our initial attraction for the spiritual master starts getting affected by Maya.
Yeah. You have to understand, Krishna consciousness is continuous. As soon as you leave gaps, and Maya's in there to dictate to you that there's other more important things in life. It says, and this is a very strong statement, but it's coming from the Vishnu Purana, which is one of the Puranas in the mode of goodness. What is the greatest anomaly? What is the greatest mistake? What is the greatest misfortune? The word greatest is used in all three categories: anomaly, mistake, and misfortune. So what do you think is the answer? This is from Padma Puran.
Forgetting Krishna.
Yeah. Forgetting Krishna for one moment, not just forgetting Krishna. As soon as you forget Krishna, you're subjected to another energy. So we have to practice staying connected with Krishna through devotional service, through reading, through chanting, through worshiping, through associating. Through serving. Krishna Prabhupada made the process quite easy. There's a variety of things that you can engage in and still stay connected. He didn't say you just have to chant and that's all. No, there's other things. Rasa Vilasini.
Hare Krishna,
you,
Maharaj.
Devi.
I
Go
accept
ahead,
my
Mati.
humble obeisance to your lotus feet. All praise to Srila Prabhupada, all praise to Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, how to get rid of anarthas, Maharaj? Because is it good to note down our mistakes, right, Maharaj? So we can like do something on these mistakes.
What the question is?
How to get rid of anarthas,
How to
Maharaj?
get rid of
Because
anarthas,
sometimes,
Maharaj?
Yeah.
yes.
Two things. One is know them and avoid them. Two is continue in your process of hearing and chanting. Combine these two things, the positive, bringing in the positive, eliminating the negative. And then the anarthas will gradually decrease and then diminish and leave. If you're chanting but you're still committing the anarthas, then it's slow. And if you're committing the anarthas, if you're trying to eliminate the anarthas and you're not following the process properly, it's also very slow. Two things: bring in the sun and avoid the darkness. do this, don't do this.
I hope that helped, Radha Vilasani. Sorry, Rasa Vilasani Radha. I gotta get it straight in my head.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
I have to improve.
Asa, just keep dancing and you'll get rid of all your ananas.
Yes, sure, Maharaj. I will follow your instruction, Maharaj.
Her name means one who
Please
enjoys
bless us.
dancing at the rasa dance. That's what her name means.
Please bless me, Maharaj. Please bless me.
When I see her, she just dances all the time. If you keep dancing, you'll dance back to Godhead.
Wow, that's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
It's Radharani who takes pleasure in the rasa dance. Yeah.
And
All
where
glories
are
to
you
you
at,
and Western.
Mataji? Where are you located? So I can come see you dance?
You're not far away. You're very close.
Where, Maharaj? Pennsylvania?
Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Farmington Hills. Okay, I gotta make a trip one day there so I can see Mataji dance.
Oh yeah, and you'll see Pavni and Bhagashri, and you'll see who else is online here. I can't see who else. You got Ananda Sagar, he's there. You got about 4 or 5 people from there online or from there.
Wow.
It's a really powerful temple. It's one of the most progressive temples in the US.
We are missing you, Maharaj.
Amrita Sundari, she's there also.
Oh. Under the guidance of Yugal Kishore Prabhu. Very nice. Wonderful. Any other questions? Oh, did I miss something in the chat? Oh, no. Okay. Any other questions from devotees that you would like to ask, get clarification on?
I escape very soon because I have a flight coming up and I have
Okay. March, we will end the class. I won't even ask about the chanting because I know you have to get ready. We really want to thank the devotees for joining us, and I get to see March this Thursday, March 7 a.m. We are going back to the old times, what Srimati told me.
Yeah, I'll be in London.
Okay. No problem, March.
And we do it at noon in London.
Okay. Silpesh is smiling because he knows that he's gonna get your mercy, and he's like waiting. I can see him enjoy right there.
There's a lot of Londonites there.
We thank all of you for joining us, and we wish you a good day wherever you're at. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Vanchakapati Vyascha. Kripa Sindhabe Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Candramauli Swami ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Have a safe travels, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Please bless us, Maharaj, so that
Hare Krishna.
we can serve you and we can make you happy.
Please bless us.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Offer a prayer to Air Canada for me, so
Yes, Guru Maharaj. I'm going to do that.
my flight gets delayed. I might miss my international flight. I have flights in one day, so
Yeah. It's a layover in the Boston. Yes.
yeah, I'm flying from Boston at 7 o'clock tonight, and I'm flying from Toronto at 1:30 this afternoon. So I got to make both flights.
March, but then you do have a good layover in Boston, though, right? At least a couple of hours?
Yeah, but Air Canada is late, and the weather.
I hope it's not.
The weather is terrible here, so it could go. I could be challenged with weather here.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, so the prayers from the devotees will help.
All right.
Guru Maharaj.
Because if we don't pray hard, Silpesh Prabhu is going to get mad at us.
Yeah, maybe
Thank you, Maharaj.
See
Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Call up Air Canada and tell them to make sure they're on time.
Yes. Haribol.
Haribol Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you,
Haribol.
Anupriya.
Haribol
Thank you,
Veronica.
Devaki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.